Hi everybody, Carissa here with Inky Fairy Designs, and I am guest designing for Butterfly Reflections Inc. this month. And today I'm making this card using WPlus9 stamps from their latest release. The stamp set we're going to be using is called Holiday Cheer, and it's got these adorable hats and mittens along with an awesome sentiment that says sending holiday cheer. Now I think this stamp set is so versatile, and I've been pretty obsessed with this stamping technique where you stamp like an open line art image and then fill it with a solid image. And this stamp set really appealed to me because it has both the open stamp and the solid, and so you can really achieve that technique very fast and quick all in one set. So I'm going to start by stamping my background. I'm going to be using this stamp first with the little beanie, and I love those little half gloves. Those are like my favorite gloves in the winter and fall. I have a bunch of them, and yeah, they're my favorite. So I started with that one, and I'm just creating my own pattern. You can see I kind of lined up the stamps on the stamp block all at once, and then I could rotate the stamps around my paper and kind of fill in until I had it the way I wanted it. Now I'm going to take some inks and I'm going to stamp the solid image right over top those black and white kind of the detail image. I'm actually doing it purposely not perfect, if that makes sense. So I'm kind of offsetting it, but I'm not being particular to be consistent offset to the left, right, up, down, whatever. I am just offsetting it however it feels when I put that down. I chose a selection of 3 different color inks, this red and green, and then I wanted to add a pop of this teal color blue. And I'll have all of the inks and colors that I used in my cards listed below in the YouTube description as well as my blog. And I do apologize for the headshots of my hair because just, you know, kind of lining them up, I kind of have to bend over and lean over my desk and I get into the frame. So it happens, but I just think this is like the cutest way to create your own background for your cards. Some of the stamps I didn't stamp entirely, so I'm taking this little, it's by Imagine Crafts, and it's just like a little, Fantastics is what it's called, and it's just like a little foam pencil type thing, and you can pick up the ink and fill it in. It's a great tool to have anytime you're doing like solid stamping to fill in anything that you kind of miss so you don't have to redo it. So I'm taking another die. This is from also WPlus9, and it's from the new release as well. I don't know the name of it, but I'll have it listed below. And I just die cut right from my pattern that I made, and then from a solid piece to do some inlay die cutting. And I'm stamping that sentiment with Versamark ink and embossing it with some embossing powder. I love this Ranger Platinum embossing. It's just so pretty. It's not really silver, it's not really gold, it's just gorgeous. So I use that, and now I'm going to assemble the card. This die is another WPlus9. This is from the gift card layer set, and I know that because I use it a lot. It's one of my favorite dies. It's the perfect size for your A2 cards. It's like 5.5 by 4.25 exactly, so you can die cut and get that awesome stitched edging, and it'll fit the front of your card perfectly. So then I ended up die cutting that pattern that I created a little bit smaller because I think it needed that pop of black around the edges, and then I used some liquid glue to place my sentiment inside because I ended up popping up that panel with some foam dimensional tape, you can see. And of course, you know me, I'm obsessed with my Wink of Stella Clear, and I just have to add a touch of that shimmer. So I went around the black stamped image and filled that in. So only inside the black and white area would the shimmer be. So that pretty much takes care of that card. I will add some twine around it, but that was kind of an afterthought. So I wanted to take that same concept and make another card because I swear I can't stop stamping with this set. It's so awesome. So I lined it up again. I found that this was the easiest way for me to get a sort of random looking pattern without being totally chaotic, because I tried to do it like with each stamp individual and it just looked so awful. I don't know. I know it can be done, but it cannot be done by me. So adding all the images on one block and then being able to rotate that around my paper was the best way to give me more of a consistent kind of spacing, I think is what it was. So just rotating it around, and then towards the end when I had just tiny spots to fill, I did take the other images off and I used the hat and the mittens separately. But I wanted to do this technique. I wanted to use a really light gray ink and kind of, instead of having the solid part be the bright beautiful colors, I thought it would be fun to take the other set of hat and mittens and let the outline be all of the beautiful colors, just to give a different effect but the exact same technique, I think. Just kind of reversing that process, and I found that it worked out really great, and both ways give you such a pretty background. So I'm pulling out some non-traditional colors for Christmas, yet beautiful colors for winter. I love blues and teals and purples when I'm setting a winter type card. So now I'm just doing the same thing. I'm offsetting it just slightly randomly and adding the colored ink of the solid image over that light gray and creating my background that way. So I think both of these techniques are a lot of fun to play with, and you can use it for any of your open line images like this. It doesn't have to necessarily be a set that has both the open and solid images, because you can take any shape that you have for a solid and kind of, if it fits just you know, enough of what you're trying to fill in, it will work. And I did that on another card. If you look at my YouTube channel a couple weeks ago, you can see how I did that with 2 different stamp sets. So it's just a really fun technique. And now I'm taking that same embossing powder because it's gorgeous, and I did not use my embossing buddy before I stamped, and so I had to kind of use my paintbrush and wipe some of that away, but it works. And I'm using the same die set, you know, from that gift card layers. I love this A2 sized stitched rectangle. It's awesome. And I'm just using the same design for my card for both of these, but with the kind of the different colors and the different way I stamp the stamps, they look like different cards. So it's a really great way to make some fast and easy holiday cards this season. I think this stamp set is, if you're only looking to buy a couple, because I know there's so many awesome winter releases right now, this one is definitely one that will give you so much bang for your buck, because there's a lot of things. I mean, you could even take those open line art images and color them, which is something that I want to do. I want to watercolor them, and I want to color them with my Copic markers. So I think this set is one of the most versatile stamps I've seen. So now I'm taking, and instead of adding the Wink of Stella, surprise, I am adding some sequins. I picked out some sequins that kind of matched those inks that I used, so some purple, blue, and green sequins. And I added one to each of the images. So maybe I went overboard, but I think you can't go overboard with sparkle in Christmas. So here's 3 cards. I did another one with the pink, the green, and the purple. Same technique as the second card that I showed you in the video. And here are some just regular pictures of each of the cards. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up and share it with your crafty friends. And thank you to Butterfly Reflections for having me in October guest designer. I had a blast, and I will see you next time. Thanks for watching.